Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC 305 Plessis versus Adesanya. We back with another recap of a card that was, I think the best word to describe it was decent. Was it card of the year? No. Was it a bad card? No. It was decent, good, whatever word you want to use, but I think decent's the best word I've seen to describe it. For what it was, a card in 2024, which we know those are usually dog shit now, it was decent. Can't really think of a better way to describe it, and it definitely wasn't any worse than decent. It had a few pretty decent moments. Not many, I would say 6 at most. 6, which is still half. It was on a 12-fight card, that's half the fights were good, but the bad of the card was pretty bad. Like, as good as the good was, the bad was bad, so it was okay. We definitely a much needed decent pay-per-view, the first good pay-per-view since 303, which I know was only 2 months ago, but still. And it feels like the first good non-Apex card, which is saying a lot in a while, so it's sad that a good card is rare at this point, but that's the UFC in 2024, so thank God we did actually get a good card here, and yeah, I'm not upset with it. I enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope you did as well. And I guess we're gonna have to recap now to see how much I really enjoyed it. So, I'll stop rambling on about the card before getting into it. So, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say about the card before I get into the recap. Not really. Like that, I thought it was decent. So, yeah. Only thing left to say before I get into the recap is please like, comment, and subscribe. 100 subs go by the end of 2024. And as always, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't believe I am, let's recap some fights. You ready? I'm as ready as I will be, so let's do it. 12 fights in total. And no fights cancelled on weigh-in days. There was only one weight miss, funny enough, in the first fight of the night. And yeah, let's get into it. We begin on the early prelims in the flyweight division with a fight that was quick and kind of funny, to be honest. But yeah, let's get into our first fight of the night in the flyweight division, as we have Jesus Aguilar versus Stewart Nicoll. Well, I was not expecting a fraud checking to happen first thing of the night, but I guess you get what you get. And yeah, to begin with, a fraud checking was surprising, but not bad. The long and short, well, I don't know why I'm even showing this, it didn't go into round 2. The long and short of the fight was they did a little bit of striking. I believe Nicoll got clipped a little bit, and then he started to shoot in on Jesus. They did a little bit of grappling, and then eventually, I think Nicoll got up, shot another takedown, and got caught in a guillotine, and got put to sleep. Yeah, only a little over 2.5 minute fight. Not much really happened. They really did no striking, and when they did, Jesus, I believe, landed better shots, if I'm remembering correctly. And then on the ground, you shot a shitty takedown on a guy who's really good at guillotines, and you got guillotined, so not really a shocker there. So yeah, 2 minute 39 second fraud checking, not expected, but I'm not upset about it. So yeah, fun way to begin the night, and not a good way for the Aussies to begin the night, and kind of a running theme that very few of them, actually no, I'm lying, they actually had a pretty decent record, but still, yeah, not a great way for them to begin the night, getting their undefeated guy beat the only undefeated fighter on the card, I believe. So yeah, not a great way for them to begin the night. But not very much else to say about the fight. It was a nice guillotine submission. The ref probably should have stepped in a little sooner because he seemed he was probably out for a hot second. But eventually he did step in and he called the fight. So good job, ref. Well, a good submission on this card. Some you don't see later on the card. So yeah. But not very much I'll say. But let's talk about Jesus Aguilar. Good win for Jesus, much needed win. Now 3 in a row on paper. I think he should be 2-1 in his last 3, but still a nice win. And again, he completely fraud checked this kid, so good job. Jesus has never been a bad fighter, but I just looked at him as a kind of mid fighter, but clearly he's not that bad. Like he's pretty well rounded as a fighter if you really think about it. Like his striking is decent, as we saw in the Shannon Ross fight. We know he has a good ground game, and like your only loss is to Tatsuo Taira, which is Tatsuo fucking Taira. So what you really want to do? Like, what do you really want him to do against Tatsuo fucking Taira? So that's like a really fucked up debut to have. But yeah, good one for Jesus, man. Still young, only 28 years old, and for all the fucking weaknesses that he has, being so undersized, he finds a way to keep winning, so good for him, man. Another W in the books, and let's see how far he can really go at flyweight. Hopefully he can make weight next time, because he should have got a bonus here, but he missed weight. So hopefully he can make weight next time around, and we'll see how he does in his next fight. Because he deserves a big fight now. Fraud checking an undefeated, hyped up dude. Let's see how he fucking looks now. Let's see who he gets in the next one. On a 3-fight winning streak, no less. I don't think he should get a ranking fight, but you could get close to that. So, yeah. Good win for Jesus Aguilar. And talk about his opponent, Stewart Nicoll. Yeah, he sucks. It didn't even take 3 minutes for me to realize that this guy's trash. So, yeah, had a lot of hype, but now he's fraud checked and he sucks. So, you had a chance, but you only could last 2 minutes and 39 seconds. So, nice try, kid. You suck. Only thing left to say now is who should I fight next for Jesus Aguilar. Again, I think he deserves a pretty big fight at flyweight. It's coming off now 3 in a row and a nice win. Nice fraud checking. But who? You could give him Reyes Saruya if you want to get crazy with it. Jesus. Or even Hung Sung Park if you want to give him another undefeated guy, but I really don't think. I think he deserves a more winnable fight. Like I don't think Rafael Esteban's that bad of a fight for him. I think he wins that fight because Esteban's terrible. Flick, I don't like that. Manus ain't even in the UFC anymore, and I think he deserves if he still was, he deserves a better fight anyway. As that, here I've been fraud checked. Josh Van. I don't like that. Phil Ho and Dvorak, that's a range guy, and then we're getting too high on the totem pole. I like that Esteban fight. I think that Esteban fight would be decent for him. Another undefeated guy that, in my opinion, he should beat. I think Esteban's terrible. Like, again, you could give him Saruya or Park, but I think that's kind of just being fucked up because those guys probably beat him. But I think he beats Rafael Esteban, so I don't mind that fight. I really don't. Esteban's not fought yet this year, so he's been off for a hot minute. Why I think that makes sense. Besides that, I don't know who else you'd really give him. Jimmy Flick or fucking Josh Van. Which I'm not a giant fan of either one of those fights. So right now I'm leaning Rafael Esteban. I think that would make a lot of sense. So let's do it. I think that's a decent fight. And I think Aguilar would take another. So let's go Jesus Aguilar and Rafael Esteban. I like that fight. So book it. And no fight idea for Nicoll because who gives a shit? It's Stewart Nicoll. Next. But yeah, decent fight to begin the night. Good way to begin the night for Jesus Aguilar, getting a nice fraud checking. And yeah, congrats on the win. I doubted you out, my bad brother. And good job. Who do I think he should fight next? I think he should fight Rafael Esteban. I think that fight makes sense. Another undefeated guy that I think Aguilar can beat. So, let's see it. Don't really got much else to say. Great win for Jesus Aguilar. If you made weight, you deserved a bonus. But yeah, make that weight, bro. Good performance anyway. After that, we had to our second fight of the night in the welterweight division. The first time we go into welterweight tonight won't be the last. And then our second fight of the early prelims, we had Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. Not a great fight. Pretty predictable. I tell not to toot my own horn, but I think I kind of predicted this fight to a T. Like, in round 1, Ricky Glenn probably won the round because he knocked down Kenan early. Like right off the bat, in like under a minute, I want to say he dropped Song. But then for the rest of the fight after that, he just got demolished. Especially in round 2 and 3, those could be 10-8 rounds, to be honest. He just got smashed, and it was a clear win for Kenan Song. I had it 29-27. I'm fine with a lot of scorecards. Like, the only round you can give Ricky Glenn is round 1. That's how I did. But I gave round 2 a 10-8. I think that was the most one-sided round of the fight. And then round 3 was just, let's just get to the end of the fight healing. So, and like I said, I think I kind of predicted the fight perfectly. And I think most people probably did, because it's not a hard fight to predict. You got a guy who's a subpar striker against a guy who has no fucking skill set. So I thought this would be like, I thought that this would be like the Bedoya fight, and I was kind of correct. I think this is a little more competitive than the Bedoya fight, but I still think this was like the Bedoya fight to an extent, and I think this was a more competitive with a worse beating, if that makes any fucking sense. So yeah, I just kinda, not a hard fight to predict. Like, you got two dudes who are not the hardest fighters to predict in general. You have them fight you, you kind of know what you're gonna get. So, and what we got here was another Song Kenan decision, easy decision. So yeah, like, the most memorable moment of the fight is you've probably fucking seen it by now, is Ricky Glenn's hematoma on his fucking head, which was goddamn brutal. So yeah, it's, that guy took a beating. He's tough. I'll give Ricky Glenn that. He's tough, but is he good? Not in the slightest. He's fucking terrible. So toughness is one thing, talent is another, and he don't got that talent. So he tried, but it didn't work. So, and that's about all I gotta say about the fight, unless I'm forgetting to say something. Yeah, just a domination from Kenan Song made Ricky Glenn a punching bag for, I would say, about 2, maybe even almost 3 rounds. So, good shit by Kenan Song. To talk about each fighter real quick, Kenan, again, nice win, predictable win. Like, and I said this in the breakdown, he's always able to beat these shittier fighters. He's never able to beat good fighters, and that's been his problem in the UFC. He's been able to get some wins, but against nobodies, but every time he fights someone decent, he loses. So that's been his big problem in the UFC. He has a skill set, and he's not that bad of a fighter. He's just never been able to continuously implement that skill set against higher level competition. The biggest moment of his career is dropping Ian Gary, but he lost that fight. So yeah, and Ian Gary sucks anyway, so. But, I don't know, Kenan's not a bad fighter. I don't look at Kenan as a bad fighter, I just look at him as a mid fighter. He's a very, mid fighter, you know what you're getting with him. He's never been that hard of a fighter to predict, because either he's fighting a can that he can easily beat, or he's fighting a good fighter that he's never gonna beat. So, never been a hard fight to predict, and he never will be a hard fight to predict. And at 34 years old, he's still fighting at a decent level. Just, is he ever going to be able to break that glass ceiling and get a big win? No. Let's be honest now. He's just gonna keep coasting. He's gonna beat some bad fighters, win some forgettable fights, and he's going to do nothing against high level guys. So, good win for him, and keeps his job, of course, but he's kind of hit his ceiling in the UFC, so can't really say much else. Good win, looked good, but can't do the entire competition. So, to talk about his opponent, Ricky Glenn, like I said, he's not good. He really has no skill set. I still don't know what he's good at after watching him fight. And I think you gotta cut him. He is, 35, I believe? 35 years old, on a 3-fight losing streak, hasn't won a fight since 2021. Lost 3 in a row, hasn't looked good in any of those fights. He's not good. He's never going to be good. I don't know how, like, his wins, if you read off his wins, you're like, how the fuck? His last 3 wins are Gavin Tucker, Dennis Bermudez, and Chao Quinn Silva. How the fuck this guy won those fights, I don't know. But then he turns around and loses to Kenan Song and Kevin Aguilar. I don't get it. He's not good, though. And, like, I get he's fought in 3 different weight classes. Cool. He's lost in all of them. He's sucked in all of them. So, it's time to cut him. Simple as that. He's 35 years old on a 3-fight skid. Fucking his last 5, he's 1-3-1. So, he's just not good. He's never gonna be good. And I don't even think PFL will take him, because what the fuck do you get out of him? So, he'll go back to the regional scene, or just retire, because it looked like he was gonna retire at the end of the fight, but I guess nothing really got made official. So, if he retired, then enjoy retirement. If he didn't retire, then get cut. Simple as that. Only thing left to say now is, who should they fight next? For Kenan Song, he called out the Leech that I saw not long ago, that he did call out the Leech for a fight in, I'm not even going to try and I forget what the name of that place is, but they're doing a Chinese fight night later in the year. Again, I forget the name of it. I'm not going to try and fucking pronounce it, because I know I'll fuck it up. But he did call out the Leech. Of course, that fight's not going to happen, but who could Kenan Song fight? Tim Means would be decent. I don't hate a Tim Means fight. Phil Rowe wouldn't be terrible. Ponzi wouldn't be a bad fight. And I think we're getting too high on the totem pole now. Again, I don't mind Tim Means fight. I think that could be kind of decent. I guess Oban wouldn't be terrible, but I feel like there's better fights for Oban. Yeah, I don't mind a Tim Means fight, to be honest. I think that kind of could be fun. And unless I'm forgetting a fight you could do with Tim Means, because I swear I gave him I had Tim Means in a fight idea not long ago, and which I'll look into that before I fucking do my fight ideas tweet in a little bit. But yeah, I don't mind Tim Means and Kenan Song. I think that'd be a kind of decent fight. Some pretty old dudes that welterweight. Probably be a pretty fun fight. They're both kind of dogs like that. And I think that would be a fun fight. So I'm down to see that. Tim Means and Kenan Song sounds like a fun fight to me. So as of right now, that's what I'll say. I don't know if I'll stick with that idea, but I don't mind that idea. So yeah, let's as of right now, Song and Tim Means. I like it. And then for Ricky Glenn, of course, he gets cut. Like, do I really need to tell you that? I already, not like I already haven't, so just cut Ricky Glenn. Simple. But, yeah, not really much else to say. Great performance by Kenan Song. Just domination, as predicted. And, who should he fight next? I think I like the idea of him versus Tim Means. I think that sounds like a good idea. And, probably be a fun fight, so let's book it. It would be a cool Apex fight. Nothing I'm disrespect, that's just a fact. So But yeah, fine fight. Better. It was fine early prelim, and it's what it is. Good win for Kenan Song. And now time for our featured prelim. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time here because this was just fucking embarrassing. And then our featured prelim in the lightweight division, we had Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. I'm not gonna waste your time here. Tom Nolan is fucking awful. Like, he was minus 1,000 in this fight, and he looked like it was a pick'em. He's fucking terrible. Like, it's actually incredible how awful Tom Nolan is. Like, yeah, he beat Alex Reyes, barely. Like, these rounds were a lot closer than you think. But, he's terrible. I can't put it any other way. Tom Nolan's a terrible fighter. Like, this dude's a complete fraud, and he's not good. If he fights anyone with any talent, he has no chance. Like, even if he fights, like, some bottom-of-the-barrel guys at lightweight, like, if he fights Slava Claus and Terrence McKinney, he's getting knocked the fuck out. He's awful. Like, he can't beat anyone with any talent. That's why he lost to Nicolas Mota. He's awful. And he's not leaving the fraud club. He's garbage. He could not KO Alex Reyes. Ass. And I got nothing to say about Alex Reyes. Fucking cut him, obviously. But, yeah, don't really got much to say about this fight. Embarrassing that this guy was a minus, 12,000 favorite by fight time, and he looked awful. So, can't really say much else. Embarrassing. He should be embarrassed by that performance, that you cannot get a KO win over a dude who's so bad that you were a minus 12,000 favorite. Simple as that. Garbage. 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 That's all I gotta say. So those were the early prelims. Not great. Very forgettable. Like, these two fights they happened, and then this was just fucking pathetic, so yeah. So, about the early prelims, I expected nothing special, and that's what we got, nothing special. But then we got to the actual prelims, which were not terrible. So, I guess let's stop wasting any time and get right into it. As we begin the early prelims, or the actual prelims, my bad, with a predictable fight in the featherweight division, as we had Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. Wow, this could not have been more fucking predictable. So pretty much for 2 rounds, Jenkins just beat the shit out of Herbert. Herbert really did little. He got a takedown at the end of round 1. That's about the long and short of the success that he had in this fight. Besides that, he did nothing. Like, he got beat the fuck up. He got destroyed in round 2, and then in round 3, he finally just gave up. He got dropped badly, some ground and pound. Jenkins said stand up, and he did not. He laid there and quit. Like always, Herbert Burns quit, because he's a quitter. Yeah, not really much to say. Predictable, like I said. Hey, Tom Nolan, this is how you destroy a can, you dumb bitch. But, yeah, Herbert Burns is god fucking awful in the highest degree. Gilbert Burns has to be ashamed of this fucking motherfucker at this point. Like, bro, you are ass. To the nth degree of ass. So, I'm not really sure what else to say. About the fight itself, it was as predictable as it can get. I should have had Jenkins as my lock, because he looked more like a minus 12,000 favorite than the guy that was a 12,000 favorite. So, yeah. But, yeah, not very much else I can think to say. So, let's just talk about the fighters. For Jenkins, best he's ever looked in the UFC, in my opinion. Yes, against the worst fighter he has fought in the UFC, but this looked like a new and improved Jenkins to it. I'm still not going to say he beats any fucking, like, top guys. I still would pick Shepe Marshall over him. I did for a reason the first time. And I still don't think he's in the caliber of unranked guys like Shepe, Billy Q, Nate Landwehr, Sean Woodson. I just don't think he's in that caliber, but I think he's decent. I don't think he's bad. He's not in the caliber of Herbert, Burns, and fucking there was another fucking Kenan featherweight, fucking I don't know. But he's like in the caliber like Gavin Tucker, who I believe he called out, and a couple other people. So yeah, I think he's fine. I think he's a fine fighter. I'm not sold on him completely. I get he's still young. Well, he's 31. Holy shit! I swear I said that same thing in the breakdown. Yeah, he's fine. He's a fine fighter. He'll win fights. He'll lose some. He's just not. He's not a world beater, but he's not a bad fighter in the slides. So got a nice win here. The best he's ever looked in UFC, getting his first UFC finish, and just a flawless victory. Could have got a bonus, but I get why he didn't get one. Some guys definitely earned it more than him later on the card, and still got a nice win though. Good bounce back after breaking your arm a year ago, and he looked good here. So can't really say much else. Can't really ask for much else. You looked flawless versus versus Herbert Burns. Good job. And for Herbert Burns, I don't got much good to say. Cut him. He's awful. He's a quitter. He's garbage. I have no respect for him because he's a quitter. Get cut, stupid. The only thing I'll say now is who should they fight next for Jack Jenkins. He called out Gavin Tucker, which I don't mind that fight. He called him out for UFC Edmonton, which is 2 months away. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I don't mind that fight. I don't know if they're the better fight for him, but I don't mind that fight. Like, him and Gavin Tucker, fine. Sounds good to me. Fuck, if anything, he can go fight Charles Jourdain if that doesn't fucking work out. But yeah, actually, no, Jourdain's going down to bantamweight, which I don't love. But if that's what he's doing, then I don't think Jenkins deserves a fight up here yet. But I think he's right on the cusp of that, and beating Gavin Tucker would give him that. So yeah, I'm down with him by Gavin Tucker. The more I think about it, I think that fight makes a lot of sense. And that's the fight that was originally meant to happen on this card. So let's do it. Gavin Tucker, Jack Jenkins, and Edmonton, which is, let me look at when that card is happening. Which is happening in November. Oh, yeah, I fucking booked that. Yeah, okay, come on. Get that shit booked already. Like, I didn't, November, yeah, that's perfect. Jenkins, Gavin Tucker, book it. That's a perfect fight for that card, which is fucking terrible. So yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, and for Herbert Burns, get cut, stupid. Can't really think of much else to say. Good performance by Jack Jenkins, again the best he's ever looked in UFC. And who should he fight next? I like his idea, funny enough, of Gavin Tucker and Edmonton. I think that's a good fight. And let's see, Farr versus fucking the Governor, what's his nickname, in Edmonton. So, book it. Can't really think of much else to say. Great performance by Jack Jenkins. After that, we had to our second fight of the prelims in the women's flyweight division. My favorite fight of the night. Y'all must have fucking forgot, you stupid fucks. Then our second fight of the prelims in the women's flyweight division, we had King Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Surprise, surprise, the King is back, and y'all must have fucking forgot. That's what you get for doubting the King. This TikToker got fucking smashed. 30-27 across the board. The King is back. I told y'all. Y'all fucking wanna doubt me. You wanna fucking doubt the King. And I always come up right. The King is back. flyweight, you have a problem. Her name is Casey O'Neill. Sorry. I'm sorry that I had to tell y'all. Y'all didn't listen. Not very much else to say. I can't say much else. Casey dominated for 15 minutes. Her striking looked the best it's ever looked. Her ground game didn't see much of it till round 3. Her cardio looked good. She looked like and this is all, I'll take bias away for a second, this is the best she's ever looked in my opinion. Like, even on that 3-fight winning streak, at the beginning of her UFC career, it was pretty much just her ground game. She really didn't have any striking. This is the first time I've seen her in a fight and I can say, yeah, she can strike. She looked great here. This is the best Casey O'Neill I think we've ever seen in that, and she didn't even get a finish. So, I'm impressed. Like, I'm honestly impressed, and I'm very happy she looked so good. So, the best Casey O'Neill we've ever seen. Simple as that. I can't really say much else outside of that. So, yeah. I'll talk about Luana Santos first, just to get out the way. No hate to Luana. She's a fine fighter, just not your time yet. She's good. She's very good. But she jumped into the fire too quickly. She just fought Agapova a month ago, and now she's already fighting again against a ranked fighter. That's never gonna work. Respect for stepping in for Teresa Bleda, but not a smart idea. So yes, chill out, take some time off, come back. She's not a bad fighter. She took the wrong fight. Respect, but it was the wrong move. And for the king, 10-0, fuck you. She's back, and better than ever. Can't really say much else. Only 26 years old, and I'm excited. I'm excited that she's back. If I were to record this last night, I'd been a little more showing how excited I am. But yeah, I'm so fucking happy. So. I was scared shitless going into the fight, and because it's been a while since a fighter of mine has fought, but she dominated, the best she's ever looked. She's back, so can't really think of anything else to say besides who should she fight next. No idea for Luana Santos. So I saw this idea go around and I do like it. I don't know if Casey likes it because it's not a ranked fight, but in the rankings, like Tracy Cortez came up, but I don't think they're gonna do that fight. Karini's booked. Unless they give her Amanda Hebas. Is Hebas booked? Where is Hebas? In one of these two fights, and I think you gotta do this fight because these two have some pretty old beef, and I think this is the fight to do. Casey and Veronica, they have some beef. They've talked a lot of shit to each other, and with Jasmine is booked, which is Casey's other person she does not like. I'm down to see her fight Veronica Hardy. I think that's a great fight, unless they want to give her Amanda Hebas, which I don't think they're gonna do. A, who knows what weight class Hebas is even fighting in anymore, and B, I don't think the UFC is gonna throw Casey in there with someone so highly ranked so quickly. So I would love to be wrong, but I just don't know. I just don't see Casey versus Hebas happening. And I could see Hebas I just don't see why Hebas would even do that fight. She can probably get a much bigger fight with Mackenzie Dern or fucking even like Lupe Godinez or Tracy Cortez. So I just don't see Hebas doing that. So I'm down to see Veronica Hardy and Casey O'Neill. They have beef. It'd be a fun fight. Let's do it. I'm fucking beyond down for it. And then if Jasmine beats Lipsky and Casey beats Hardy, let's see that rivalry fight finally. So I'm down for these fucking let's settle this beef. Enough talk. Let's fight. Casey O'Neill versus Veronica Hardy. Book it. I really would like to see that fight, but also I'm not opposed to her and Amanda Hebas, since that's better for her career, because that would get her up in the top 10. But what fight would I rather see personally? Her and Veronica would be fun. So let's do it. Casey O'Neill and Veronica Hardy. Book it. Not very much else to say. The King is back. Y'all should have fucking listened when I told you that. And the King is back. Can't really say much else. Who should she fight next? I like the idea of her against Veronica Hardy, but again, I'm not opposed to her and Amanda Ribas. Either one of those two ideas I love. And hopefully we see Casey in there one more time this year. October, November, December. Anytime would be cool. Get one more quick win before the year ends and go from there. So, yeah, can't really say much else. Great win for Casey O'Neill. So happy to see her back. And, yeah, the King is back. Surprise, surprise. After that, we had to our third fight of the prelims. And I'm not going to waste a lot of time here because this was bullshit. And then our third fight of the prelims, we head back to featherweight for a fight between Ricardo Ramos versus Josh Culibao. Very good fight. This fight was pretty fun, but it was a complete robbery. In round one, Culibao really hurt Ramos' leg. His dumbass did rush in and get taken down. Almost got rear naked choked, but he did survive it. And I think Culibao took round one. Even so, he definitely took round 2 and 3. Like, he dominated Ramos from bell to bell. Like, what did Ramos do? Lay on him a little bit? Like, Culibao clearly won this fight, and it was complete bullshit. Some of the, like, I was gonna say some of the worst judging of the night, but I don't even think that's true, so. But still, robbery. Culibao won this fight, hands down. What did Ramos do in the last 2 rounds? Get fucking leg kicked and beat up. Come on now. Culibao won this fight. We don't need to lie to ourselves. So, it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. But judges are gonna be judges. I feel bad for Culibao that he got volked, got fucking robbed in his hometown. So, that is bullshit. I can't really say much else. Bullshit. Not very much else I can say. I'm not gonna give a fight idea. Not gonna say much. Like, I don't got much to say about Ramos. He didn't look terrible, but he did not win this fight. So, it was a complete robbery. They handed him a pretend win. So, he's not good. He's not good. And I really feel bad for Culibao because he did not lose this fight. He clearly won. And yeah, like I said, this was a loser gets cut fight, but I'm not gonna say the loser should get cut when he got fucking robbed. So, no, yeah, Culibao should not get cut. If he loses his next fight, sure. But he should not get cut here because he got robbed. So, just complete bullshit. Can't really say much else besides that. No fight idea. Fuck Ricardo Ramos. And, fuck the judges. Cause robbing their hometown guy. You're meant to fucking side with him, not rob him, you dumb fucks. Shaking my head, man. Shaking my head. Oh, and I'm shaking my head even more after our featured prelim in the heavyweight division. I'm not gonna waste time on this garbage, cause this was just fucking stupid. In our featured prelim, in the heavyweight division, we had Valter Walker versus Junior Tafa. I'm not gonna say much. The fight started, Tafa rocked Walker. Eventually Walker shot, got to take down, laid on him for 4 minutes, went for a knee bar late, and heel hook, whatever, and Tafa yelled, trying to get out of the submission, and the ref stopped the fight for no reason. Yeah, that bullshit. How this ain't overturned, I don't know, because that's not a tap at all, and yeah, complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. This is not a win for Valter Walker. This is complete bullshit. This should be overturned ASAP because that's not a submission. He never tapped. Yelling is not tapping. And let alone he had his hands free, he could have tapped. So any logic is just fucking stupid. That's not a fucking tap. Let's get real now. So, bullshit. Valter Walker is awful, and he should fight Justin Tafa. You want to do this bullshit against Junior? You gotta fight the big bro now. So, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. So, fuck Valter Walker. He sucks, and Junior Tafa got robbed here. Overturn this shit. Nevada or the fucking commission. That's not a submission. But, yeah. Not really much else to say about the prelims. About all I gotta say about the prelims. Overall, the entire prelims, were they great? No. I would say the best moments of the prelims were these two. Outside that, okay, forgettable, trash, okay fight, but a robbery, and just terrible. So, probably I would say this was the worst fight of the night just because it's so stupid. So, but well, at least we had Casey and Jenkins picking up the slack and giving us an okay prelims. So, the prelims looked terrible on paper anyway, so no shocker they were not amazing in execution, but they were just disappointing. They were not very good. Like, they were disappointing for the low standards they already had. So, and bullshit judging and stupid refereeing didn't help. So, yeah, about all I really gotta say. It was a pretty terrible prelims to lead into a very good main card. So, I can't think of anything else to say. I don't want to ramble on any more than I have to, so let's get into the main card, which started off with a very predictable but still very sad knockout. In our main card opener, we head to welterweight for a fight between Carlos Prates versus the Leech Jingliang. Great way to begin the main card as predicted, and still very sad. Not very much to say about this fight, and it's kind of just a beating. In round one, Prates just pretty much just started off very slow, but when Prates woke up, he just started dominating Leech. He dropped him 3 times in round one, at bare minimum 2 if you don't want to count one of them. And then after that, by that point, it was kind of over. Leech really couldn't do much afterwards. He landed a couple shots, but it didn't affect Prates too much. It didn't seem, at least. And then late in the second, Prates hurt Leech really badly. You could have stopped the fight much sooner. He was just kind of running across the cage, trying to just stay awake. And eventually Prates got to him, landed a beautiful left hook, and sent the Leech out cold. Clean out knockout by Carlos Prates of the Leech. The first time the Leech has ever been KO'd. And, what a fucking performance. What a performance from Carlos Prates is the only thing I can really think to say. Just he looked great. Looked fucking great in the biggest fight of his career so far. He passed with flying colors. Like, he could not look much better. The first guy to ever knock out the Leech. And yeah, he looked great. Well, it's still sad to watch the Leech get completely annihilated. Yeah, but UFC fucked him over, but it was still just impressive by Prates. So, this kid's good. This kid's really fucking good. And, welterweight, you have a problem. To talk about Prates first, because I don't got much else to say about the fight. Again, this guy's a problem. He took a ginormous jump in competition, and he's looking great. Like, he looked great. Like, I can't even think of what to say. This dude's just a problem. His striking is clean. His cardio seems to be decent. We've not really seen his ground game much, I don't remember, so, but I'm guessing that's probably fine. Like, he's from that Fighting Nerds gym, and we know that gym's just full of killers. Like, Kyle Borrello, who's fighting this week, by the time I'm recording this, against Kenan, Bruno Brazil, Carlos Prates, Gene Silva, that Roofy dude. Those are 5 very, very good fighters, and I think they're all coming off wins. So, that gym is special. I don't know what the fuck they're doing in that gym, but that gym is just full of fucking killers. and Prates is one of them. He is one of them ones. He's gonna be a problem in the welterweight division. I'm very excited to see who he fights next because he's that guy. So let's see what's next for him, man. He's good. And talk about the Leech. I feel bad for the Leech, man. He like I said, he really got kind of screwed here. He did not deserve to get fucking crushed like this. But the UFC doesn't give a fuck about their fighters, and this is what happens. So I feel bad for the Leech, but at the same time, it's the UFC. It's expected at this point. So yeah, not very much else to say. I hope the Leech heals up and we can see him fight again sooner than later. It would be a shame if we don't see him fight again for another year or whatever. So just heal up and bounce back whenever. In a much easier fight, hopefully, not against another fucking killer like Prates. So let's just hope the UFC gives him a more favorable matchup next time out, and not a fucking killer, because this was kind of just fucked up. So this was kind of just fucked up. About all I can really say. But yeah, I can't really think of much else to say about the fighters. So the only thing left to really say is, who should they fight next? For Carlos Prates, he said he doesn't want a ranking fight yet. He wants one more win. So I'm not really sure who that would be against. So he called out Chaos Williams, which I don't mind that, but I think there's better fights for him than that, to be honest. I really like the idea of him and Randy Brown. I think that'd be a fun fight. And Randy Brown is not ranked at the moment, so no one in the rankings would make sense. He's booked, never gonna happen. He's gonna probably get re-upped with Nick, booked, etc. So yeah, I like him and Randy Brown. I think that fight would be really fun. The two very lengthy dudes of the division. But if he wants to fight Chaos Williams, he can fight Chaos Williams instead. I think that's perfectly fine as well. So, Chaos Williams or Randy Brown, either one of them makes sense. I would rather see him fight Randy Brown. I think that's a bigger fight and a really interesting fight. Both guys on 3-fight winning streaks in the UFC. I think that would be a really fun fight, so I'm down to see it. I'm really down to see it, so let's do it. And then Chaos can fight someone else like Dalby or Chiesa. Yeah, he could fight like Chiesa or some shit. So let's do it. Randy Brown and fucking Carlos Prates. I think that'd be a very fun fight. And again, it'd be the battle of the very lengthy dudes. Because Randy Brown is, I believe, 6'3", 78-inch reach. Prates is 6'1", 78-inch reach. So it'd be very interesting to see someone Prates' size fight him instead of these guys who are shorter than him. So I say let's do it. Carlos Prates and the Leech. And Randy Brown. Here just fought the Leech, dumbass. Yeah, Prates and Randy Brown. Sounds good to me. And then for the Leech, give him one of the older dudes in the division, funny enough, Tim Means. Bring back Court McGee if you want. Fucking something like that. Give him an older dude in the division who he can beat. Or so, don't give him a fucking young guy or something like that. Give him a fucking old dude that he can beat. Like I said, Tim Means would be cool. Kenan, yeah, Kenan song called for the fight, like I brought up earlier. I don't even hate that idea too much. So, something along those lines. Song, Means, Court McGee, someone like that would be good. So, do that. But yeah, can't really think of much else to say besides that. Great performance by Carlos Prates. Knockout of the night. Fucking looked great against a veteran like the Leech. And now he set himself up for a very big fight. So let's see what's next for Prates. Like I said, Chaos Williams or Randy Brown. Either one's a really good fight. And I think he wins both. So let's have him win one of those fights real quick. And then he'll get a ranking. Well, yeah, can't really think of much else to say besides that. Great way to begin the main card. Great knockout, even if it was pretty sad to see the leech go down like that. And, yeah, can't really think of much else to say. Great knockout. I don't have much to say for this fight, so I'm not going to waste your time. As in our second fight of the main card, we had 2 heavyweight for a fight between Jairzinho, Rozenstruik versus Tuivasa. I'm not wasting your time. These two owe us an apology for whatever the fuck this was. Pathetic. The fact that this went 3 rounds is a shame, and these two should both get cut because that was pathetic. So, but whatever. The shitty heavyweights are shitty heavyweights. So, I just am SMH. But yeah, no fight idea. I don't care. Jairzinho and Pavlovich, I've heard. I'm down for it. Tuivasa, get cut. I don't care. Shitty fight. After that, we had to our third fight of the main card in the lightweight division. And actually, I'm so happy this fight went the way it did, because this was so fun. And then our third fight of the main card, we had a banger between Dan Hooker versus Mateusz Gamrot. What a fight. Hooker can have a good fight with anyone. That's confirmed now. He made Mateusz Gamrot have a good fight. That's impressive. Long story short of the fight, round 1, guys, with the scorecard, I kinda need it. Dicks. Well, what the fuck? I need the scorecard. Let me go get it real quick. I'm gonna pause this recording and bring it up. So here it is. I did just go to Twitter and grab it. The UFC news, I believe is the account, uploads all the scorecards. So here it is. So round 1, it was a very close round. Gamrot really did nothing. He kinda dropped Hooker, kinda just made him take a knee, which barely a drop. Hooker ended the round dropping Gamrot, I believe, twice, clearly taking the round. Round 2 was Gamrot's best round of the fight, probably. I think I might have gave it to Hooker. I don't remember. Cause I think did I have 30-27 Hooker? No, I had 29-28. Yeah, I gave Gamrot round 2, like that was his best round of the fight. And then round 3, Hooker just dominated him. He showed that dog in him, and he dominated. So clear 29-28 Hooker. I saw a lot of people crying robbery, which is of course fucking bullshit. You just want to get your pick right because you picked Gamrot. I didn't care about getting my pick right, and I'm happy I got it wrong because Hooker A won this fight, and B is way better. So yeah, guys, I'm so happy for Hooker, man. I'm so happy he beat this boring bum, and Dan Hooker's in the top 5 of lightweight again for the first time in like 4 years. So I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And again, if anyone calling robbery, you're wrong. Simple as that. You're wrong. So Hooker clearly won this fight. As simple as that, man. So good for Hooker, man. I've not been this happy to get a pick wrong in a while. So good job, Hooker. To talk about each fighter real quick, Hooker, it's back. He's only 34 years old, and he still has that dog in him. Now on a 3-fight winning streak, now in the top 5 again. He has a big fight lined up, and for him next, you got Gaethje, you got fucking Oliveira. You got some fun fights for him coming up, so let's see what they do with them. Could be a lot of fun fights for him. Even fucking Physio would be fun if they wanted to get a little bit out there, but I don't think they do that, so yeah. Hooker's back, and he still got that dog in him. Tattoo Hooker is a new mystical fighter. And for Gamrot, who cares? He's boring, he sucks, and I'm so happy the judges finally stopped giving him every decision in the world, because he clearly lost this fight, and I'm happy he finally got fucking an L by decision, because they keep giving him, if the fight's close in the slightest, they give him the fight, so It's complete bullshit how they fucking kiss his ass, but they finally said, fuck you, we're gonna score this fight, right? And I'm so happy they did. So, suck it, Gamrot, you boring bum. Go back to the apex where you belong. Now, the only thing left to say is, who should I fight next? For Dan Hooker. Now in the top 5. Yeah, he should fight Gaethje, the more I think about it. Because I was just saying, I was going to say Charles, but then I thought about it. Charles should have a fight with Colby Covington. I could explain that some other time. Arman should fight Dustin. Let's see Gaethje and Hooker. It makes the most sense after really thinking about it. I like it. Hooker and Justin Gaethje. Violence, and a little more violence would be an amazing fight. Let's do it. Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker. Who would fucking say no to watching that? Look at Charles can fight Colby. Sarukian can fight Poirier. Let's do it, man. I think that sounds like a great fight to everyone on Earth. So let's see it. And for Gamrot, again, who gives a fuck? So, yeah, great fight. Great performance by Dan Hooker. Back and better than ever. Thank God he fucking ended this clown Gamrot. And, who should he fight next? I love the idea of him and Justin Gaethje. Sounds like a great fight to me. And I can't wait for it, so let's see it. Could main event any fucking fight night. Could co-main any pay-per-view. Works for me. Hooker, Gaethje, book it. Fight of the year, whatever year it happens, this one or next. After that, we go to our co-main event of the evening in the flyweight division. An upset, probably one of the biggest upsets of the year. Yeah, don't really got much else to say besides that, so let's just get into the fight. As in our co-main event of the evening, we had Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg. The best way I can describe this fight, the better fighter does not always win. So that's how I look at this fight. The better fighter did not win, which sucks, but whatever. One of the biggest upsets of the year, and if not, maybe even a fluke. So whatever. Yeah, not very much to say about the fight. They didn't do much for a good couple minutes in the fight, then eventually Kai landed a nice left hook that dropped Erceg. Then he got up, chased him against the cage, hit him again with a right cross, and it was over. I saw it was a questionable stoppage at first. I guess it was a right. I'm not sure. It was close. But yeah. Kai Kara France pulled off the giant upset over Steve Erceg. Good for him, I guess. I still don't think he's better than Erceg, but tonight he was. So, I'll give him that. I want to talk about Erceg first, just because I'm seeing a lot of stupid shit said about him. He's not a fraud. He's literally not a fraud. He beat Pantoja, who, if you value Pantoja highly for whatever reason, then you better value Erceg highly, because he won that fight clearly. So, yeah. Erceg's not a fraud, he just got clipped. So, I'm not really sure what else you want me to say. The dude's 29 years old and just coming off pretty much winning the bout. So, what the fuck do you want me to say? To talk about the opponent, Kai Kara, good win. He still got it. Yeah, he still got it. Good for him. I'll give him that. On this night, he was the better fighter. I still don't think he's better than Erceg, but tonight he was. So, good for him. Not very much else I can say about the fight. Disappointing, but again, good win for Kai, man. Good win for Kai. The only thing left to say now is, who should I fight next? For Kai Kara. He's in a really weird spot, because I have no idea. Because Rival and Taira are fighting, so that kinda leaves him out. So, and of course the winner of that's gonna fight bout. No point of fighting Moreno again. Albazi's probably gonna fight Pantoja, as he should. You know what? there's this new fucking guy coming into UFC. Oh, and this is perfect. What's his name? Kai. Yeah, this guy. He's super hyped up. Kai should fight Kai. This is fucking perfect. Yeah, this is who we should like. Kai Asakura. Asakura. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. That's literally the most perfect fight possible. So, and I believe he is a flyweight. He is moving down to flyweight, or he is a flyweight, because everyone's saying he should fight fucking Pantoja. Where's his flyweight? Is he a flyweight? When the fuck do you fight a flyweight, dickhead? Is he not a flyweight? Okay, but everyone's saying he should fight Pantoja, so is he not a fucking flyweight? I don't get it. I don't know if this guy's good, no fucking idea, but him against Kai France sounds too perfect. It sounds perfect. Kai versus Kai. It's right there. Book it, Dana. It's fucking genius. So, that got my vote. But, yeah, not very much else I can say about this fight. For Erceg. Cop? Maybe? Manel Cop wouldn't be a terrible fight. He should win that fight pretty easily. Cop's terrible, so... Yeah, probably Manel Cop, Nicoll, Perez. Any one of these guys around him makes sense, so... Yeah, Cop, Nicoll, or Perez. I think he wins all three of those fights, so whichever one they want to give him. Pretty simple, so... Not very much else to say about this fight, though. A little disappointing, but fine. I'll give Kai his flowers here. Tonight he was better than Erceg. If they fight 9 out of 10, if they fight 9 more times, I don't think he'll be again, so... But, whatever. Enough. So, only thing I have to say is who should they fight next? I like Kai France versus that other Kai dude, Asakura, or whatever. And I like Erceg versus, I guess, Cop. Why not? Most fun fight. But also him and Nicoll or Prates works just as well. So, not really much else to really say. Fine fight. Cool upset. And, yeah, let's get Kai versus Kai. Who is the real Kai of the Fly Guys? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Disappointing, like I said. Just disappointing. And now, time for the main event of the evening for the middleweight championship of the world. To main event UFC 305, we had Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. What a fight. One of the best fights of the year. What a fight. I'm not sure what to say. Crazy fight, and one of the hardest fights to score this year. I'm not even sure how to recap this fight. You could have this fight scored so many ways going into the 4th round. You could have it 2-1 Izzy, 2-1 Dricus, 3-0 Dricus. You could have this fight scored so many ways. It was one of the closest and best fights of the year so far. Just a great fight, and and I had it like David Letherby. I had it 2-1 Dricus. I gave Izzy round 1. I thought he landed a little bit better of shots. Dricus clearly took the second, the only clear round of the fight. And then round 3, it was super close. I think Dricus stole round 3 right at the end, if I remember. But again, it was as close as it can be. And then round 4 happened. They both were landing really nice shots. I thought Izzy was going to drop him with body shots, but Dricus did survive. And eventually Dricus did get another takedown. And very quickly afterwards, he jumped on Izzy's back like he did in round 2, locked up a rear naked choke out of nowhere, and Izzy tapped out. Crazy. The last outcome I expected was Dricus by submission. That was not on my bingo card. So, craziness. So, just crazy. And people who are crying about the scorecards, dude, you could score this fight 10 different ways. I don't want to fucking hear it. So, whatever. But, crazy fight, great fight, one of the best fights of the year, like I said, and, I'm not really sure what else to even say, to be honest. It was just that good of a fight. So, yeah. I'll talk about Izzy first. First of all, where the fuck has this Izzy been for the last, like, 6 years? This is the best fight he's had since, like, fucking Costa. Like, well, dude, where the fuck have you been? Like, this is the Izzy that is actually, like, entertaining. Like, this ain't little bitch Izzy that we've seen for, like, 6 years now. Like, why the fuck has it taken Dricus to Plessis to get a fucking entertaining Izzy fight? It's fucking a little confusing after a while when you think about it. But, I'm happy he finally showed up to fight. He finally showed up to have a fight, and he had a fight. And he didn't look bad. In a brawl, he didn't look bad. He did look a little weaker on the feet than he usually does, but that does come with being off for a year, and Dricus is just really weird to fight, so... Yeah. But Izzy looked good. Izzy looked good. Again, the best I think Izzy has looked since the Costa fight. So, he didn't look bad. He really didn't look too bad. And, again, if we can get this Izzy more often, I won't hate him as much. But I just don't think we'll get this Izzy more often. I don't think we'll get Izzy that much anymore anyway. So, I have no idea what he's gonna do now, because he can't get another title shot. I say, hoping I'm right, and I'm not sure what else he can do, so I'm very intrigued to see what Izzy does next, because him not in a title fight's just gonna seem really weird. So, dude's had 12 title fights in a row. No, it doesn't make sense why. He shouldn't have been getting in a title fight here to begin with, but at least he did show up and show out. So, I'll give Izzy his props when they're due. He had a great fight here, and this is the Izzy of old, to an extent that we saw not little bitch Izzy running away for 25 minutes. I'll give him respect. Yeah, I still think he probably should have retired, because again, I'm not sure what he's gonna do now, but, let's see. Let's see. To talk about the champion, quote, quote, Dricus du Plessis. He might be the best worst fighter ever. It doesn't even make sense how he wins fights, because he looked gassed in round 2 here, and he somehow won in round 4 by submission. Like, it doesn't even really make sense. Like, he's the best worst fighter ever. It makes no fucking sense, but that's Dricus. Like, that's all I can say, that's Dricus. So... He won. He won, and now he has to go fight Strickland again. So, let's see if he can do it again. Let's see if he can actually beat Strickland this time. So, I doubt it. But let's see if he can finally beat Strickland for real and not get handed the win. So, and no, he's not going to fight Alex Pereira. That's fucking stupid. So, yeah. Let's see what Dricus had. Let's see how Dricus looks against Strickland this time. Because he didn't look that great the first time. Maybe he'll look better the second time. But, yeah, that's about all I gotta say about the fight, though. And I talked about the fighters, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't think I am. Well, let's just get into the interesting part. Who should I fight next? For Dricus, again, I don't even need to waste your time. Of course he's fighting Strickland again. If you can't screw Strickland again, it should have been Dricus and Strickland tonight, but whatever. Do it rematch in December at, I think that would be 310. Makes sense. Do it. And then, but now the interesting one, Israel Adesanya. He can fight the winner, Whitaker Hamzat. In my opinion, I think that would probably make the most sense. The UFC is praying it's Hamzat, so because I think that's the fight they really wanted all along, is Izzy and Hamzat for the belt, but you don't always get what you want. So I think that makes the most sense for Izzy. I'm not really sure who else he could fight. Do I see him fighting the winner of Alan Imavov? Not really. Do I see him fighting anyone else, not like Kyle if he beats Jared, not really. I just don't see him fighting one of these young dudes like Alan Imavov or Kaio, and I don't see him fighting fucking anyone else besides that, so I think the winner of Hamza Whitaker would make the most sense for him. Not really sure what else he could do, or who else he could fight, because again, do you really see Israel Adesanya fighting Nasruddin Imavov? I don't. Do you really think he fights Brennan Allen? I don't. Do you really think he fights Kyle Borrelio? I don't. I can't see it. I truly can't, let alone on like a fight night. I don't see it, man. I truly just don't see it. If I'm wrong, cool. I'm not gonna be upset. I'm down to see Izzy and Brennan Allen, Izzy and Kyle Borrelio. I don't care about Nasruddin Imavov. But, yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think I will be. So, maybe I will be. I don't know. But after right now, I don't think so. So, never know, but I kind of know. And what I do know is Izzy's going to be having an interesting fight in the next one. So, yeah, like I said, I think the winner of Whitaker Hamzat, but who knows? Who knows? Hopefully, if he does fight again, it's not 2 years from now or whatever. But he's already 35. Don't take another year. You can't take years off when you're in your mid-30s. So, but I'm going to say he should fight the winner of Whitaker Hamzat. Makes the most sense. And, yeah, why not? Why not? But, yeah, really don't got much else to say. Great fight. Got completely robbed of fight of the night. And, who should they fight next? I like Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland rematch, as obviously as that is. And, I think Izzy should fight the winner of Hamzat Whitaker. So, don't really got much else to say. Besides, great fight. Great fight by both guys. Respect to both guys for this. And, let's see what happens next. Middleweight is weird and interesting at the same time. But besides that, boom! That's the card. Finally recapped after an hour. To go over how I did on picks, I went 6 of 12, 2 perfect 380. Really, I should have went 7 right. 4, 7, 4, and 1, because I don't count robberies or pretend taps. So, yeah, really 7, 4, and 1. How I went. So, yeah, and the ones I got wrong, Erceg got clipped. Gamrot, so happy to be wrong. Tuivasa sucks, and Nicoll fraud. Simple. The bonuses for the card were Performance of the Night to Kai and Prates, 5 of the Night to Hooker and Gamrot. I would have gave performance bonuses. Yeah, Kai and Prates is fine, but 5 of the Night should have went to Izzy and Dricus. I don't know how that's not 5 of the Night. The Hooker fight was fine, but like you could have gave Hooker a performance bonus. You didn't need to take 5 of the Night away from Izzy and Dricus. So, but you know Dana's pissed his boy lost. So. Whatever. And the only thing I have to say now is, if you missed a card, what should you go back and rewatch? I would say Jenkins if you want. Like, I'm not gonna say Casey, because I know that fight was not the greatest and not for everyone, but prelims wise, Jenkins, that's it. Main card wise, watch everything outside of Tuivasa. The 5 fights at most: Jenkins, Prates, Hooker, Kara, and Izzy. Everything else you can skip. Early prelims, I don't think they're worth your time. Rested prelims, no, not really. I doubt you really care. And again, this was terrible. So, I would say Jenkins, Prates, Hooker, Kara, and Dricus. But, yeah, besides that, I'm not really sure what else to say. UFC 305 is in the books. It was decent. It was, like I said, I think that's the best word I've seen to describe it. It was decent. It had a couple good moments like Prates, Hooker, Dricus. But then it had some really dud moments like Tafa, Culibao, and Tuivasa. So, you had some good, you had some bad. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was a fine pay-per-view in 2024, which is about all you can ask for anymore. So, yeah. And now, sadly, we head back to the Apex next week for a actually kind of decent fight night between Kenan and Kyle Borrello. You got tough finales, middleweight and featherweight. You got Michael Morales is back. You got Angela Hill and Tafa Ricci. It's a decent card. Slava Claus is on the card. It's not bad for an Apex card. It's not the shittiest in the world, so I'm not too disappointed. So yeah, you'll hear me break down that card Friday, like always, and then you'll hear me recap it Sunday, like always. So yeah, can't really think of much else to say besides that. 305, decent. Now I go into UFC Vegas 96. The train keeps moving, so my 220th video in the books. I'll see you for 221. So, unless I'm going to say something, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And as always, RX out. Good vibes, only, and always.